Hello everyone, Josh first back again with some more OverHit content. And today we're going to be talking about potentially the top 3 characters that you may want to consider rerolling for when global release drops in just a couple days. So let's jump right into it. Alright, let's go to our hero list. And you'll notice that these heroes can go from level like 40 to 65. 65 currently is the max in soft launch. They may increase that number for global release. And also please consider that some of these things may change slightly when global release does drop. But for the most part, the characters and their skill set should still be the same, as well as majority of the content we already have, even if they add more to it. These are still, in my opinion, the top 3 characters that you should be trying to reroll for. So first, we are going to be talking about, you know what? Let's just go ahead and talk about Angelo first. So Angelo, he's our first on our list. Now this list is in no way in order of priority or best to worst or anything like that. I'm literally just giving you the 3 top options. You can't go wrong with either of these 3 options, so please keep that in mind. So Angelo, what is he good for? What is he going to do for you? This man, okay, yes, he looks very feminine, but he is a guy. He's a trap. All right. So he is going to be your ultimate cleave. He's going to be your best AoE, especially early to mid, even late game. He's going to get you through story. He is probably the best story clearer right now available in the game. This man does so much damage, and his leader skill, if you're running a mono team, which you can see here, is increase attack of dark allies by 40%. That is a big boost for a leader skill for a mono leader. Very good. His S1 also has very low cooldowns, only 54 seconds. He deals damage equal to 169.5% of attacks to enemies times 4. So he's damn near hitting almost every single enemy, which is very good and makes him very strong as well in PvP, especially if you're trying to deal with those annoying back rows that are constantly running a lot of healer supporters and you need to get rid of them quickly. Our boy Angelo is the way to go. Now his S2. His S2 does regular damage equal to 184.4% of attack times 4, and he does additional damage equal to 3.9% of max HP. I'm sorry, of max HP of enemy times 4. So very interesting. He also, if we go to his skills here, now in order to look at the max skills of characters, you need at least 1 dupe in them. But if we go here and we notice, he actually picks up an additional damage on his S1 as well, which deals fixed damage of 1838 to physical type units. So very cool there. I believe he picks that up. Yeah, he picks that up when you max dupe him. So it'll be some time before you pick up that S1 additional, but still very good. And I believe on his S2 he picks up his additional on +3, or is it +4? Yes, it is +3. He gets the debuff, increased damage taken of enemy times 4 by 21.5%, success rate 100%, and it lasts for 60 seconds. And if you max that out, obviously it's going to go up to 23.1 and goes up to enemy times 5 as well. And so does his first attack as well. It also goes to enemy times 5. So he actually, when maxed, hits everything. So like I said, this guy is the ultimate cleaver, ultimate damage dealer. Absolutely amazing. I love Angelo. Obviously, I don't have a maxed out Angelo, but even at +1, he's been phenomenal for me in story mode. Just grade A, no pun intended, because he is actually 8 grade right now. Just top tier for me when it comes to trying to get through difficult stories, especially on hard mode story where it starts becoming a little bit harder, and in PvP where he can just cleave those back rows very nicely. Such a top tier unit in my opinion if you guys are looking to progress through story, which again will help you get through a lot of your guide missions, allow you to get more of your 3-star clears, so you can get more gems, so you guys can summon for more characters, and summoning for more characters is always a good thing, right? So Angelo, definitely one of my top 3 picks to go for if you're looking for a good story clearer and PvP unit. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, another unit we're going to be talking about is Tez A. Tez A is a single target monster. Her single target damage is absolutely insane, and most of it's coming from her S2, which is a guaranteed critical, which means if you slap critical gear on her via substats on her 3 pieces of equipment, she's going to go in and do some damage because it's always going to be a guaranteed critical. And it base stat for it is almost 300%. Just base. And that's without putting any dupes into her, of course, getting her skill up even higher. And I believe when she's max skilled out on her S2, it goes well over 400%. Insane. In her S1 and S2, if you'll notice, actually the cooldowns are actually pretty low. Her S2 is 75, which I'd put around mid-level for cooldown speed. And her S1 is top-notch with that 45-second cooldown, which she also does 265% base damage to enemy times 1, and additional damage, deal additional damage equal to 144.3% of attack if attack plus effect is applied. And her leader skill is a very good leader skill as well. It gives 35% attack to allies as long as you're running 3 dark units in your team, and increases crit rate of allies by 5%. So very, very good mono lead. You can actually run 1 or 2 offset elements as well, and it's still going to be a very good leader skill for you. So if you're talking raid is the best place right now in the game to get your gear. And of course you want to have good gear for your characters. She is going to go in and she's going to be that very versatile single target damage dealer in all 3 raids. She will be good against the blue raid, the red raid, and the purple raid. And again, you could call that fire, ice, fire, water, or in dark as well. You know, however you want to call them. She is good in all 3 current raids right now in the game. Absolutely phenomenal in a single target. And in PvP, you can only assume single targets are very strong in PvP as well. So obviously Tez A is a beast. She's absolutely amazing, and her skills only get better when you get her get some dupes into her. So Tez A is definitely one of those big ones you also want to go for. So far, just to kind of recap, we've won over one of the better single target characters in the game right now, and one of the best AoE characters in the game right now. Both playing 2 separate roles for you and how you want to progress in the game. One can get you through raids quickly and allow you to be very powerful in PvP, even if you're playing against very tanky teams. And the other one, again, is a very good cleaver. It could take out those annoying back row supports in PvP and help you progress through story. Obviously, if you pull both, then you're set. But individually, they're both amazing in 2 different aspects of the game. Absolutely top notch. Now, our third choice. You know, we've seen the best AoEer. We've seen the best single target. But we have yet to discuss one that can do a little bit of both while also providing you with a little bit of support. Now, it's kind of funny because this usually does not happen in gacha games, but the main character, the main protagonist in this game is actually good. He's not just some throwaway character you only play for a week or 2, then you're done. He's actually really, really good. And we're going to be talking about our boy, Ash. Ash might be my favorite choice of the 3, simply for the fact that we're going to talk about later in the video how you can actually get a lot of dupes of him quickly, even quicker than the other 2 that we've already talked about on the list. All right. So we have our boy Ash right here, looking pretty dope, very generic look for a main character, but he's phenomenal. His skill set is very top notch, and we're going to go over some of his skills when they're maxed out as well, and how good he really can get. So if you look at his leader skill, it is what we like to call a rainbow leader. So he can increase attack of all eyes by 25%. Of course, that'll go even higher when you max him out. And by the way, he's going to be the easiest to max out of the 3 we've talked about today in today's video. So nobody, and I mean nobody, better sleep on Ash, because Ash is phenomenal. So anyways, so he gives you increased attack of allies by 25%, which will go up even higher when you max him out with max dupes. Very good rainbow lead. You know, it's always good to have a rainbow leader, especially if you're running a lot of different individual type elements on your team. And you need somebody that can kind of be that glue and put them together. Our boy Ash can solve that problem for you very quickly. And you get Ash when you first start the game, right? So you're already going to have this strong character right out of the gate. Now, let's talk about his skills. As you see, mine are a little bit leveled up. Guess they won't. Oh, that's right. Rip. Anywho, so already at at level 4, we're getting regular damage, deal damage equal to 320.8% of attack times 1. And again, this is a 45-second cooldown, so very, very low cooldown. Status effect, inflict burn on enemy times 1, dealing damage equal to 28.2% of attack every 10 seconds for 20 seconds. So basically, he gets that off twice before the cooldown period's over, and he has a success rate of 50%. It also decreased resist rate by 10%. Chain effect. Now, this is different from the regular damage. If you do chain effect, it's not stacking onto the regular damage, because that would be over 640%. That's what we originally thought way back, but we've since, we've done our research, and we've actually found out chain effect damage is actually a separate damage modifier altogether. He does damage equal to 320.8% as well, affected by poison, and it's a guaranteed critical. So that guaranteed critical is very important. You lose the burn debuff if you do the chain effect, but you're getting the guaranteed critical. So it offsets itself and still makes it possibly even better than the regular damage. So again, that's at level 4, 45-second cooldown, absolutely amazing. And of course, it gets even better when you take it up to level 6 when you max his dupes out, which you can see we're only at +3. We'd have to get 2 more dupes. But that's because I was working on Ren when I played instead of Ash, and I kind of regret that a little bit. Ren is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I probably would have been a little bit better off. It would have been a little bit easier for me early game if I would have stuck with Ash instead, but it is what it is. And then his S2 is only 70 seconds, so he's got 2 very good cooldowns for both his skill sets. And his S2 does regular damage, deal damage equal to 262.7% of attack to enemies times 3. So it's a little bit of an AoE, and debuff, decrease attack of enemies times 3 by 30.9%. Success rate 100% for 60 seconds. And obviously that'll get even higher when he's maxed skill. So that right there, a low cooldown, decrease attack AoE is phenomenal. So what you're seeing from our boy Ash is he has a little bit of an AoE. He has a single target, both very strong. His base stats are also pretty good as well. And he's the easiest of the 3 we've talked about to max out with dupes. So you can get him to his highest potential early, which may make him a little bit more beneficial to you than even Tez A. Or even Angelo, but both those 2 are also equally amazing. But Ash might be the easiest to completely hit his potential with. So that is something to consider when you're talking about re-rolling on global release. Now, let's talk about how it's going to be to get these characters to +1, +2, +3, etc., etc. So Ash, you get him obviously at the beginning of the game. You also get a free dupe of him when you progress through story. So you can automatically on day 1 take him to +1. Simple enough, right? Which means you already can upgrade his skill levels to level 2 after day 1. Simple enough. If you re-roll for Ash, you now can make him a +2. If you get 2 copies of him, you can make him a +3. Now, I don't know how many of you is going to get extremely lucky and how long you're willing to re-roll for to try and re-roll for 2 copies of Ash, or even Tez A, or even Angelo for that matter. But if you do the math right, you're going to, at minimum, if you re-roll for Ash and you play for a couple hours on day 1 launch, you're going to have an Ash +2 day 1. That is a huge step forward in this game. Now, the SRs are absolutely amazing, don't get me wrong, as well as a lot of these other SSRs are also equally amazing in certain things that they do and aspects of team comps that they may have for you, depending on what type of content you're trying to clear. But these are definitely my top 3. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, it was insightful and helped you guys out. But for sure, Ash by far is my favorite pick because of the fact that he's going to be easy to dupe out quickly. Not to mention, like Ren and some of the other units in the game, you can actually go here, go to Special, go to Dimension Gate, and you can actually farm Ash's shards as well by doing normal, elite, expert, and master mode. And this actual Dimension Gate, as well as I believe Sophia's, are open on day 1. You'll have to play through story to unlock Ren's, Aria's, and Malpian's, but you can actually farm Ash's soul shards, which can then be used to make more dupes of Ash if you also want to go that route early on. But if you re-roll for Ash, and let's say that we can do 2 or 3 multis per re-roll, depending on what all rewards and stuff they give us when global launch releases, and you re-roll for 2 copies, you already have a +3 Ash day 1. That is so massive of a push that it's honestly insane. The things that you could do on day 1 with just Ash is going to be great. And like I said, his defense down on his S2 allows him to be good in all content of the game, outside of maybe the blue raid boss, obviously, because of the type disadvantage. But he's going to be good in Dark Raid, he's going to be good in Fire Raid, he's going to be good in PvP, he's going to be good in story. He's just good everywhere. He's a good middle ground between, Angelo and Tez A. Now, Tez A, again, single target goddess, and then Angelo, the AoE god, if you want to put it that way. And then you have Ash, who's just a little bit of the combination of the two in the middle. And I don't know. I don't know really what else more to say. They're all 3 equally amazing. It all depends on what kind of player you want to be early game, what your focus is on. Are you more focused on getting good gear to build up your units? Are you focused on trying to blitz through story? Or are you trying to find that nice middle ground, but with the biggest upside early game? All right, so that's my top 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, subscribe if you're new here to watch some more OverHit content, as well as other content here on the channel. Be sure to drop a like below, comment below what you guys think. Do you agree with my top 3 list? Would you make some changes? Do you got which of the 3, if you do like my 3, would you go for? And more importantly, are you guys excited for global release coming in just a couple days? If you are, say all that and more, and don't forget to join us in the description below at our Discord to keep the conversations going before and after the video as always. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day wherever you are, and peace.